It's the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. As always, Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. Let's talk, Jason, offers. There was a couple of them last week, starting with the guy we pegged as a breakout prospect at the beginning of the year, now has a second offer.
Yeah, in our very first episode, we talked about Hamilcar Rashed, the defensive end, outside linebacker at Chandler High School. Talked about him being a breakout guy that was going to blow up. Well, he has. He was offered by Nebraska previously, added a new offer from Fresno State. Going to trip out to Nebraska here next month. Coach Aguano over at Chandler thinks this is just the first two of very, very many.
The next guy, a committed quarterback, Jack Smith, adds another offer to the mix.
Yeah, he was offered by Florida Atlantic. He's been committed to UNLV since this summer. He's having a very good season for Mountain Point. The Pride are currently undefeated. Now, Florida Atlantic, they don't recruit here very, very often. The last prospect they got was Brophy linebacker Robert Ralph.
Let's get into our player of the week, and we've seen some crazy numbers from players this season. A lot of them have been quarterbacks, but at running back, how about Ethan Johnson over at Westwood?
Yeah, just when I thought all hope was lost and no one knew how to run the football anymore, Ethan Johnson comes out and breaks the state rushing record, 566 yards and 7 touchdowns in Westwood's win over Higley.
And this isn't the first time we've talked about Ethan Johnson. This wasn't a one-hit wonder. This is a kid that's done it for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, he's rushed for over 1,400 yards this season, was a 2,000-yard rusher last year. Jim Ewan, their new head coach, was smart, keeps feeding the ball to Johnson.
Let's talk about our breakout prospect, and this is a young man who's kind of made a name for himself around the state as a basketball player, but he's given football a shot, and he's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I like looking for sleeper offensive tackle type prospects, and Isaiah Jones over at Shadow Mountain is one of those guys. He's 6'7", 6'8" in that range, weighs 235 pounds, plays left tackle, tells me he's getting interest in both basketball and football. You know, this is our football recruiting roundup, so he tells me that Boise State, San Jose State, and Fresno State are a few of the schools that have shown some interest. I really like the upside of this kid.
What are some of the intangibles that has an offensive line coach like yourself that kind of gets him salivating a little bit?
Well, he has things that are uncoachable. He's 6'7", he's 235 pounds, got super long arms, a big frame, athletic feet, and that comes from playing basketball, and those things translate well when you're looking at a project offensive tackle prospect.
So that's our breakout prospect. Now let's look ahead to this week's game. Some huge sectional matchups coming up. I'm going to get started. Division II, Skyline against Williamsfield. All about the running backs. Kyle Stroh, Aaron Mason for Williamsfield. They get the job done. Stroh does a great job on the defensive side of the ball. They'll need him on defense, going up against one of the top running backs in the state, Amari Keys. A big-time matchup. I'm excited to see who comes away with it. Williamsfield, they've been in close games, but they're battle-tested. That could be big in a game like this.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a small school matchup at the Division V level. The undefeated Northwest Christian against undefeated Yuma Catholic, two of the top teams in that division. Now, when you talk about those two schools, it all starts at quarterback. Drew Ennis, 4-year starter for Northwest Christian, very good player, a coach's son. And then you look at another coach's son, Stetson Stallworth, starting at Yuma Catholic. He's the son of Rhett Stallworth, their head coach.
Should be a lot of fun. That's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen on Sports360AZ.com.